Well, guys, you know, I love finding ways to make Farming Simulator more efficient. Make my farms run a little bit better. And today's mod is no exception to that. It's definitely a mod that makes everything run, well, maybe just a little bit smoother for you. Allows you to step back for a second and, well, admire your farm and let other people maybe do a little bit more of the work for you. I'm not saying you're lazy. Maybe I am a little bit, but sometimes I like to let my workers do more of my work, and I can handle more of the big picture. You know what? Speaking of the big picture, we should talk about the sponsor of today's video, which really helps make your multiplayer farms much more efficient. G-Portal Game Servers. Are you ready to upgrade your Farming Simulator experience? Well, with G-Portal Game Servers and Farming Simulator 25, it's time to take your farm to the next level. When you play Farming Simulator 25 on a G-Portal game server, your multiplayer farms will be available whenever you are. No longer waiting for the host to get online. If you're ready to farm, your G-Portal game server will have your tractor already warmed up and waiting for you. Whether you're planting, harvesting, or building the farm of your dreams, G-Portal game server is the ultimate multiplayer experience. No lag, no hassle. Just pure farming fun with your friends. With G-Portal's dedicated servers, you can host your own games effortlessly. Customize your servers to fit your needs, whether you're on Xbox, on PlayStation, or PC. All platforms can use G-Portal game servers, and all platforms can play together. Setting up your server has never been easier. In just a few clicks, you're going to be ready to go. Plus, G-Portal game servers support all your favorite mods. You can even expand your server to have 25 gigabytes of mod space, which will allow you to install any mod map and all the mods you could possibly think of, so you can expand your farming possibilities like never before. Team up, trade up, and build a legacy together. With G-Portal game servers, the fields are truly endless. Be sure to use the link down in the description today to get your 10% off your G-Portal game server and elevate your Farming Simulator 25 experience. Grab your friends and let's farm with G-Portal game servers and Farming Simulator 25 like never before. We'll start off by making sure we enable it in our DLC, our mod selection options. I'm currently running version 3.000. There's probably going to be some new versions, maybe even by the time you download it. So once you load into your game, this is going to be the very first thing you see if it's the first time loading in with Autodrive selected. This does work on old saves as well as brand new saves. It's going to ask you if you want to generate a route network based on traffic and helper data for the current map you are on. Now, once I've said yes, well, it doesn't look like much has changed, does it? Even getting into a vehicle, there's nothing here. That's right, you have to enable the menu to begin with. So just out of the gate, you're gonna have nothing that's changed. To bring this up, guys, the default controls for this will be left alt and number pad 0. And that's going to bring up your Autodrive controls, so you can see that down there. Now, I should also mention, as with other mods we've talked about, Courseplay, of course, auto load, you can get a whole slew of quick keys and button combinations you can set up to your heart's desire here with Autodrive. So if you go into your menus, into control settings once again, you can see you're going to find a whole bunch of control options that you can change to make things a little bit easier for you. If it's something you're going to use a lot more often, it really depends on how much you use the mod, to be perfectly honest. Typically, I just worry about being able to bring up the menu, which, like I said, Alt keypad 0, and the route manager, maybe a little bit of that, as well as I think those are the two big ones I use. And of course, well, the menu itself, Control Alt and keypad 0. We'll bring that up as well. You can also bring up that full menu by clicking on, I believe it's the setting key right down here, right? The open GUI. Boom. And that brings up the whole settings menu for it once again. Now, this feels so similar to the original Courseplay, actually. If you watch my video, click on the card up in the top right-hand corner if you want to see that video where we talked all about Courseplay, because Autodrive and Courseplay can work together, to be perfectly honest. So regardless of which, there's a ton of things here that you can kind of go through, from your speeds, restricting to fields. We're trying to think if there's anything specifically that there's one thing I do want to go through, because there's something that I do change. So this is your general settings, of course. Your user settings also have a ton of different options here. The line height, which is the one I'm going to change. We'll do that in a second. What else do we have that we want to look at? Our general settings, I guess you would call this one here for Autodrive. It's all your different options. I would recommend playing with the default options to begin with if you haven't done it before, and just get used to it before going in and changing a whole bunch of these settings. So I guess I haven't really spoken to exactly what Autodrive does yet, have I? Well, the best way to describe it is to kind of show it, to be perfectly honest. By hitting the exclamation mark here in the bottom corner of the menu, the mini menu, you're going to see all the nodes come up, and this is the edit mode for Autodrive. And what these nodes are, guys, are the pathing systems that your vehicles can use. So these are the pre-built, the pre-generated from the map based on what the traffic does currently in the map by the developer, or also what the AI kind of expects it wants to be able to do in the map. So it'll take the main roadways. There's some intersections that works, a lot that don't. For instance, this one right here, there's no connections in there, so that's currently not activated. But this is just the general roadways that you have already got generated. Now, I say all this, they're all here, but there's one thing that's missing, and there's no destinations. So while these are all generated, we can see these roadways everywhere across the map. There's currently no destinations. So clicking on this drop box here, guys, does not bring up any destinations we can go to. So I can't even use this currently. Okay, so now the one thing I was talking about I wanted to change. You can see all these nodes are currently on the ground. That's the one thing I changed right out of the chute. I want to go in here and we bring up the settings, the line height. I put it to above tractor just for me personally. I would rather see it so that it is up in the air. It just makes it a little bit easier to figure out where exactly everything's going. Just my personal preference. I've seen people like it both ways. Regardless of which, this is how I like it, so I'm going to leave it at that. So let's start off by building... Oh, let's build a route to be able to automatically go to... Well, how about the fuel station right ahead of us here? First of all, if you right-click in the middle mouse button... Sorry, right-click it. If you middle-click the mouse button, you'll see your mouse will come up on screen, and you can simply move the little menu box around wherever you would like it, much like Courseplay, like I said in that previous video if you saw that. Now, if we bring this up, we've got a bunch of buttons here since we're currently in edit mode. Once again, the bottom right-hand corner, the exclamation mark, that is what turns on and turns off edit mode. Currently, we are off edit mode, we're on edit mode, that's all there is to it. It gives you some options, obviously. So, if we want to, say, make a trail to go to that fuel station, we're going to be looking at current paths that are currently set up, and we want to obviously try and make it so it goes off something that's going the current direction. So you can see by the little arrows on the green line, this route is only a one-way route. It's going in the direction we're going, so that's perfect. Now, the red line you see that's connected to that red node, that's the one we're currently connected to. So it sees that, and if we hit the record button with our left click, it's going to bring up record, and it's going to try to connect to that node because that's where we were closest when we were connected to. You can turn that on or off, to be honest with you, so it doesn't connect. And same with when you end, it can auto connect as well. Currently, the default is to auto connect when you are starting, and then to not connect when you're disconnecting or something along those lines. Regardless of which, you can look at that in the menu. So now that we've hit record, we're going to start making our own path as we drive. So we go around a corner. The more nodes on a corner you will see, the probably the better off you typically are. We can go up to the fuel station here, and we'll go just a little bit past it. We get one more node, one more. There we go, perfect. And from there, guys, I'm going to sign this. So the next button you have is the save button. If you want to make a complete route somewhere, you can save where the route goes. You can use that button there. So just by clicking this, it'll add a new route. If you want to make a specific route, we're not going to talk about that much. For the next one, you've got your edit target. So once again, we're at the fuel station. I have no targets. I want to generate something I can put in this text box. So let's make a target. We'll call this the fuel station. Station, boom. Perfect. Now I click down on this. You can see we have a fuel station that's completely spelt wrong. Excellent. That's just what I wanted. And it's showed up on the screen here as well underneath this node. So now, when I tell someone to go to the fuel station, what vehicle, whatever it is, it will try to get to this node, which is what I want. Now, unfortunately, there's nowhere to go from here yet, so let's go a little bit further. I'm going to look at the pathing that's ahead of us. We've got a path that goes both directions. So I want to head to the right first. So I'm going to drive across to the right-hand side and make a path and get it close to connecting. There we go. Now, you'll see when I end the path, it's not going to auto-connect. If we move this out of the way, boom. All right, so we've disconnected. It's currently not connected. Like I said, you can change that in the menu so it will auto-connect if you wanted to. But since it's not connecting, how do I get it to this? Well, you just simply left-click on the last node of your one and go to the first node of the next path. Done. Perfect. Now, our fuel station has got a path to leave out of here. Now, if I want to make one that goes the other direction, just in case I've decided that, hey, guess what? When I leave the fuel station, I'm going to want to go to a different destination that's in the other direction. I'm going to start my path. Oh, I didn't start it in the right spot. Well, how do I fix that? Well, once again, you can do the exact same thing and erase nodes. So, boom, the opposite direction, and now it's gone. So all you have to do is click from in the direction you want to go, and it will make nodes. And if you want to get rid of it, do the exact same motion all over again. Now, let me just finish this off before we go on to our next topic. So I'll connect that. I could just connect straight into there if I wanted to. That would be an option. But when you're doing corners, the more nodes you have, typically the better off you are. So we'll leave that connected for the time being, and we'll just drive around this corner and get it to connect. And actually, I would have been the wrong side anyways, right? So the more nodes we have, the better off we are. So we'll connect this one and say connect it up to that one. Perfect. Make sure we shut this off. And now we've got pathing that's coming into the fuel station and can go either direction. So if we back on up here to our roadway, I can now get rid of our edit mode. Actually, we'll leave the edit mode up and say I want to go to the fuel station. And this here button at the bottom is the activation button. And it's going to follow the path. Let me move this out of the way. You can kind of see, oh, we can't do it while we're driving. That's right. You can kind of see it's trying to, where the white line is, it's telling to figure out where it wants to go. As soon as it gets to the fuel station, we should get a little activation charm saying, hey, you've arrived. And even if you're not in the vehicle, guys, you're going to get this little icon that'll pop up for us and let us know that. Now, we should be able to, can we not move that now? I thought we could move that. Okay, I fixed it. I got to grab down a little bit lower. All right. So I'm going to make another couple of waypoints for us to go through here, and we can take a little look around. All right, I've loaded into my single-player playthrough here on Ravenport, on Riverbend, and you can see we've got a few things that have been built up on our farm. We haven't gone too crazy with it yet, but I figured it's a good way to show you exactly everything we have going on up here. For instance, we have the farm silo, so it has already been built. If we leave that, we'll leave it open so you can see it once again. I just simply have to hit the button to activate it. It's going to go for a drive around the farm, find the quickest route to go to our farm silo. Now, you might notice one thing different about what we were showing beforehand. This pathing we're on currently, guys, is blue. It's not green right now, and there's definitely a reason for that. We're about to hit the green one once again. You won't notice any difference while it's operating. However, the blue and the green do signify something completely different. And that is just different direction, guys. The blue is bi-directional. So you mean you can go each direction on that path. It does not need a separate direction. So if we jump back in, you can see the green we currently have. It's telling me the only direction that we can go on this path is the way we came in. But the blue stuff, there's no arrows on it. So you can go each direction. Now, to begin with, guys, you could go to any of your paths if you wanted to. So if for some reason we wanted to make this path here to be able to go both directions, we could select each individual one and just change them so they were both activated. Now, obviously, right now that wouldn't work because there's no paths on each side of it. But this path right in the middle here, technically you could go either direction on it. To revert it, once again, just re-click the direction you want to erase, and you are done. Now, you can also do another option on this, and let's see if we can do this because there's something I was thinking about doing in here as well. If we wanted to make a path that we drive along, well, we could do that. Let's go we can go right from this node right there. So I'm connected to that back node right here. You can see I'm going to make an omnidirectional or a bidirectional path. It's going to park us right in the middle. So instead of left clicking on the record button, we're going to right click, and you're going to see you get the purple icon there, and that there is automatically going to make a path for us that we're going to be able to go either direction down the middle here. And I'm going to connect that right all the way into here. Perfect. Okay. Turn that off. All right. Now, these nodes aren't connected down here. Be warned. It looks like they're connected. They are not. So I'm going to have to edit this. And you can quickly click into one of the nodes with a right click. And you can move the nodes around if you need to. So I'm going to back this up a little bit. And then I can connect it. Make sure I connect it both directions. And we're back working again. There we go. That looks a little funny. Let's fix that. You can see how it's all janky there. We don't want that. So let's move it so it's in a better spot. There you go. That looks better. And now we have that all there. Let's see if we can set up a spot right in the middle, because I'm going to call this parking, I think is what I was planning on calling this, we're right in the middle. We can go in and create a new target. We'll call this farm parking. Sure, that works. Now I can send vehicles back to the farm after they're done out in the field, and they will come back to farm parking for me no matter where they are. And guys, that's like one of the main tasks, of course, I use this for, is getting my equipment to and from, well, fields and back to the farm, just like we just did right here, farm parking. Let's test this out, see if that worked. Looks like it's going to be fine. As soon as it runs off this, chances are I know the rest of my stuff that I've built is good to go. Let's see how the corner is here. Might be a little tight. Not bad. And yeah, so this is usually a lot of the stuff I use this for right here. I'm not driving right now. This is all being done by Autodrive for us, and it's just going to follow the route along and get to that node. Now, a bunch of the other stuff, I think we've gone through pretty much everything that's here in the edit mode. The other option here, we can go and change names of different points if you want to change the name of the target. So, oh, did I hit farm silo? I did not mean to do that. If we wanted to change the name of the farm silo, for instance, I could change that name. That's the other option there. Now, we get rid of the edit mode. There is a little bit simpler. We lose those 4 icons or 5 icons at the top. The next icon is what you're connecting to. So currently, you are connecting to AI workers with that. If you right-click, you can also connect to Courseplay. Like I said, this is working in conjunction with Courseplay. If I had a Courseplay Combine, this would help me look for that Courseplay Combine and would allow me to connect to it, because there's other options we'll be able to do with that we'll talk about briefly here in a second. Speed limits for our working equipment or driving, we have 2 options down here. Like I said, we talked about settings, and we talked about how this is our activation button for whatever mode we're going to be going with. This one here will be to go to the next spot. So if you have a multi-stage position, so let me see here. If we changed to our different options here on how we want to drive, so if we wanted to take it from destination to a silo, we would just click this to advance to the next stage and repeat it back and forth depending on what was going on exactly. That's what that button does. But this is the other mode I typically use this for. So you can use this to be, if you had I don't have any farms set up or any farmlands currently set up, but if I had work going on down, say, and it was down near the dairy, and I wanted to unload at the farm silo, so this would take me to that node. Or we could go, actually, you know what? We could probably do this right here. We could go to farm parking and activate it. There's no target, right? So it's saying me there's no harvester currently found in this area with the same target. If I had our harvester and I signed it to farm parking to work, it would automatically connect to that and unload the harvester at the right time, and then once this was at 85%, because that's what we have it set to, it will bring it back to the farm silo when we're ready. Now, this gives me the opportunity to hit this button. As you see, I selected over to the farm silo now because we advanced time. So that's how that button works. And it gives you a countdown timer. Just an easier way to get workers to head back to your farm. And it's similar to how the AI works, only it's completely automated. I can leave these guys go and walk away, and they should do it all for us, as long as I have the nodes set up. Now, to be perfectly honest, guys, my farm silo, this node here is currently not set up in the right spot. I need to be farther back. Yeah, not a great place for it. We had nothing to load that with, so it just drove right on by as well. Okay, so we've talked about how to take stuff from a combine, for example, right? So we have the little combine option there. There's actually another one as well, which is similar right here, loading from. You could use this one as well, but this one's actually asking for a specific, if you're looking for a specific good you can load it with, it gives you all the options right there. Also, we have another option where we can go from loading from a silo to and dumping at a different silo. For instance, if you have a big sale going on, you want to take everything to your sale point. Let's see here. If we go to our farm silo and we're going to go sell everything, where should we sell it? We could go down to the grain barge, and we're going to take our wheat. We should be able to just activate this now. If we activate it, there we go. Let's see if it can find its way. It's going to be a bit of a trek here because it's facing the wrong direction from parking. And it's going to have to go all the way around our farm and then go connect to our silo. And once it does this, hopefully I've got it in a spot where it's close enough where it can load this up. Like I said, I did not set these nodes up. I should move these over a bit. In fact, I probably can just move these over just a touch there. That's not too bad. And we should be able to get, there we go. We're getting wheat into our trailer. Once this is filled, let's see, it should automatically go and take us down to the grain barge now and unload there. Well, unfortunately, we don't have enough. So since I don't have enough wheat in here, what I can do, guys, is just simply go down to the continue button and do it automatically. It's still waiting for more to be in here. Since I don't have any more wheat in my silo, hey, guess what? I'll tell it to advance. Now, unfortunately, if you're not paying attention, that will just sit there. And I think you actually can change that in the menu system. Let's take a quick look if we can do it. Yeah, here we go. So if silo empty, it tells you what to do. Yeah, so you can tell it to drive on or to wait if the silo is empty. You can make that change if you want. But from here, now we're going to simply attempt to make our route all the way down to the grain barge that I have already set up. Now, be warned, guys, it does not take into account other traffic. It can't use the barges that are obviously on this particular map, so that kind of stuff it will not use. But everything else seems to work fairly well, and it obviously does not notice usually other equipment out on the farms as well. So you could drive into the front of this and it will not really notice you. Unlike currently what Courseplay does, or even the in-game AI helper as well will tend to notice you better than what Autodrive does. It is only trying to stay on the path that you have given it. Now, also down at the bottom here, guys, the only thing left here is the route button. So how many times you want to do the pickup and deliver. So if you have a certain amount of grain, for instance, you want to sell, you know it's going to take 3 trips. I just want to do 3 trips full. The rest I want to stay back. It's going to do 3 trips back and forth from the silo to the grain barge and be done with it. That's what this one does. Left click advances, right click backs up. That's pretty much it, you guys. That there is the basics for Autodrive. Is there anything else we need to talk about on that? I don't think so. I think that is the basics to it. To get you kind of started. Like I said, there's a lot of options on this that will connect this with Courseplay for emptying your harvesters, as well as, yeah, just different ways to move things around, but that is the best way to get you started here. Now, of course, this mod is a PC-only mod. Console players, unfortunately, this will not be available to you. Currently not available in the mod hub either at the time of recording. However, this is something that was in the mod hub in previous iterations of Farming Simulator, so there's a good chance you'll see this in the mod hub once again for PC at some point in time. But for PC players looking to pick this up, I'll make sure the link is down in the description. Go download it from the GitHub site and keep an eye on it, because typically this stuff does get updated fairly regularly, very similar to, well, like we said, for Courseplay. Of course, if you want to see more on Farming Simulator 25 mods, reviews, playthroughs, live streams, make sure you drop a like and, of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out when we put anything new out. And of course, maybe go check out our video on Courseplay, or how about Autoload, Universal Autoload. Those are both other mods that are great for increasing your efficiency on your farms. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like, and we'll see you guys next time. I don't know why I said drop a like twice, but sure. See you guys next time. It's Klutch. Over and out. Oh, please don't crash. Please don't crash. Nice.